Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy post St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
This is the St. Patrick's Day recovery stream. Even though you've
Mhm.
had a day to recover already, we're going to give
One
you
day wasn't enough.
we're going to give you an extra day to recover and then kind of keep it rolling with some Irish whiskey. So, yeah. How's it going?
Good. What'd you do for St. Patrick's Day? Do you have a tradition?
I sat home.
No, you didn't.
Wait, where did we go?
We went shopping with our kids and took them out to lunch.
Well, no, but we didn't go out like afterwards at night. We sat home at night
and had some bourbon.
Yeah, we didn't even have
Okay.
We tested the glasses on St. Patrick's.
Yeah, we tested. We've got a video coming up about different glasses. And so we actually tested out the glasses and we like poured some bourbon in each one.
You didn't have corned beef?
No.
Usually Brian's mother makes
We usually go to my
Yeah.
mom's, but she didn't care enough to cook
They're
for us
getting-
this
yeah.
year.
Oh, no. You poor parents are getting older.
No,
They're gonna pass the baton to you, and you're gonna have to cook corned beef now. Because you're half Irish, yes?
Yeah, well,
Hello.
yeah, a little less than
Yeah.
half, but yeah,
On
close
St.
enough.
Patrick's Day, you're half. Everyone's half.
Okay, fair enough. I'll accept.
Me too, even though I'm like 90% Italian.
Even you were being Fabiano.
So like, Christine could not believe how Italian I really am when it came out.
Did you show her? Yeah.
She said she's never seen anyone that
Mhm.
authentic.
She's pure. She's a purebred.
She's not Irish, but she's had some in her. So,
Oh, Brian.
At least every other night.
all right, we are going to. Hello, everybody who's watching. All three of you. Thanks, guys. No, we'll hopefully some people will trickle in here.
Yeah, it's a little early.
We're a little earlier
Yeah.
than we usually are.
We are.
6 o'clock is not usually our time. So, but thanks for everybody who showed up, and we're gonna drink some. We're gonna carry on the St. Patrick's Day shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, it's the week, right? It was on
It
a Sunday,
is.
so you can celebrate all week.
Yes, you
Like
can
your
celebrate.
birthday.
Yeah, it's definitely an all week type of situation. So, let's bring in our guest Stacie from 4 Leaf Whiskey. Hello, lady. How's it going?
It's a month.
Yeah. Oh, it's a whole month, huh?
This is Irish Heritage Month, I think is what they call it.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. That's perfect. That's so
Mhm.
we have an excuse all month.
Well, especially given the Oscars and all the Irish. Well,
Oh, Cillian Murphy. Oh, yeah. People
Oh,
are losing
yeah,
their
yeah,
minds
And
over that.
there's
Yeah.
a bunch of people, right? The guy that was in that I was gonna say bathwater film.
What?
McKenna
Oppenheimer.
watched it.
Barry yeah.
Oh, Barry Keoghan.
Saltburn?
Yeah.
Our 17-year-old just watched
That's
it.
Barry. Yeah, that's Barry Keoghan. He was also in Banshees and Inisherin.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so with Colin Farrell, I saw that one.
Yep. Okay.
She told me, Mom, it's not that bad.
It was bad. I mean, I
told
didn't
Lauren
enjoy
told
it.
me,
Today I learned my daughter watched that movie, so that's comfortable.
Our daughter.
Our
The-
daughter.
I
yeah.
told them what
Banshees or
happened in the
Saltburn?
movie.
Saltburn, that's
Saltburn.
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I mean, Oppenheimer, great, right? A
Oppenheimer?
little boring, I thought. I mean, I'm a history teacher too. It
Yeah.
was okay. I love Cillian Murphy.
I didn't
though.
see Oppenheimer yet. It's on the
I haven't-
list.
It's on
I haven't
Peacock.
seen it yet.
You know what we did see that was great was the one the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, good.
Marianne told me that was really, really
was a good one.
I know
Yeah.
I need
I
to
heard that was
to
good.
see that.
Yeah,
Love
it's
Leonardo.
it's messed up. Like the story is so messed up.
Mhm.
But all right. So, Stacie, what did you do on your St. Patrick's
Yeah.
Day?
I know.
I started pretty early. Well, let's be real. I've been going for a month. But
Okay.
on St. Patrick's Day, we started downtown at about 8:30 in the morning and had
Okay.
our procession to Mass and our St. Patrick's Day parade. So I was in a parade. I got a nice little 2-mile hike
Nice.
down
Nice.
downtown Columbus in the middle of all the drinking. So then we went to the convention center. There's around 1,500 people there.
Wow.
And there's bands and there's, step dancing and a lot of public officials. And then went down to our local Irish clubs to hear more trad music and hang out with friends.
Okay.
And then I came back here and was on Live Wire Whiskey that night. So I had a good 12-hour drinking
What a
day.
busy,
on-
yeah, that's a
on
busy day. Now,
Sunday.
the month of St. Patrick's Day, do you do like, are you busy? Do you do tastings and stuff? Like, what are you up to during that time?
I do. I did have a tasting on February 25th. I had an Irish whiskey tasting that was sponsored by Skellig 618, a new Irish whiskey brand to the U.S. I
Okay.
was working with OHLQ. beginning of March, they had Ohio Liquor Control. They had a massive Irish whiskey cask and craft collection weekend. They brought in a
Whoa.
whole lot of the makers of the Irish whiskeys, including the one that made the whiskey we're drinking today.
Ooh, I'm
Made the
excited.
JJ
Okay,
Corey.
okay,
They brought in, the big name was Kevin O'Gorman from Middleton.
okay,
So
cool.
yeah, there the event in Columbus that I was at, I think they said there was like 600 people there that came to
Wow.
that one, where you could try all the different whiskeys. So it was kind of
Mhm.
neat that you could actually taste the whiskey before you bought it. So
Oh,
it was a
that's
lot of
That's
fun.
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you know that you are posting as Bourbon
I
School?
said, oh wait, Bourbon School is really the.
Well, why aren't you logged in on your account?
I don't know why. I clicked my name to log in.
Oh, who cares? She's our surrogate.
It's me.
Yeah.
So Bourbon School, if Bourbon School comments, that's the producer right over there. Just so you know.
Right over there.
I disavow
She's
anything
here
she
with us.
says. Disavow. Okay. So Stacie, we had a couple of sets of samples from you. So tonight we've got a bunch
Yes.
JJ Corey. So I've got 4 JJ Corey samples here, and then we've got a Powers John
John's
Slane
Lane
cast.
cast strength.
All right.
Mm.
So tell
That's going to
me.
be our last one because that's pretty
Okay.
heavy trad pot.
Okay.
So start with the JJ Corey, the Hanson.
The Hanson. That's this one. 46% single grain.
Yeah.
So tell me about JJ Corey because I don't know anything about him.
So
Oh,
JJ Corey is a brand from Ireland, and they're known as whiskey bonders. Louise McGuan is the owner and master blender for JJ Corey.
Okay.
She has her family farm that is in Coraclair. That is about maybe half hour from the Cliffs of Moher for people who've been to
Okay.
Ireland. So it's
Ooh, we're going there.
We're going there.
Yeah,
I've
so
been to
it's
the
really
cliffs.
close
They're
by.
beautiful.
Yep, it's really close by.
Going.
I am.
So Louise
Okay.
kind of resurrected this art of whiskey bonding. It used to be really popular 100 years ago and kind of fell off with the closure of all these distilleries in Ireland. And she's brought it back, and it's really cool. She procures casks from other distilleries. She doesn't distill anything. But if you
Okay.
go into her rick house, she has everything sorted by flavor profile. So if she's trying to find a certain flavor that she wants in a whiskey, she can go just to those casks. And so you may end up, I think there's whiskey in both of these blends that's over 20 years old.
Oh, okay. So we
Yeah.
got some age here.
So
Awesome.
This is
so
really
because she's
interesting.
going for certain notes. So she'll have a cask and the name on it be creme brulee, or she'll have one tropical punch, or she'll have one that's, banana.
Okay.
So she can pick where, the direction she wants to go. And most people know the name Louise McGuan because of the Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's edition bottle.
Okay.
They brought her
All
in
right.
to blend that.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So
God, I'm trying to pinpoint what flavor I'm getting here.
I will tell.
It tastes. It's like almost like candy.
Yeah,
It's really
I do get kind of like those banana runts on this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is all
So-
natural color. So this is typical of single grain Irish whiskey. It's very light.
Okay.
A lot
I'm
of
gonna
it's made with
sound
corn
like
or wheat.
I'm going to sound like an ass here because I'm not one to be like, ooh, I taste this and that. But after it's gone, I taste like vanilla buttercream.
Mm-hmm.
I do get a lot of vanilla on this one.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it's like, and the sweetness I think makes it like a buttercream frosting almost. It's
Mhm.
it's actually very nice.
Yeah.
I
So
like
this
this
one
a lot.
retails, it's like $40-$50. Pretty reasonable, 46%. And you can get this. This one and the next one we're drinking are actually, they signed a deal at Total Wine. So a lot of Total Wine stores will carry these JJ Corey core releases.
Okay.
Cool.
And this is available in the United States, obviously.
Yes, this is available in US, multiple US states.
Okay. Awesome. I actually like this one. So I'm going to tell you, we started out just with bourbon and stuff.
Yeah.
We dabbled in rye a little bit.
Mhm.
And I think I might have said this the last time we did a tasting with you, Stacie. I can 100% see myself being more into Irish whiskey than I am right now. Like I could see it becoming kind of the next thing I get into.
Yeah. She's like our guru. She's bringing us in.
Yeah. I
There's
just
so
think it's
much
super.
variety. You
Yes.
want to
And
mix
it's,
that up. Yeah.
and it's yummy. I just like
That was
I like it.
really
This
it's
is one of my
something I really
go-tos,
enjoy.
especially in the summer.
Mhm.
Just with like a little
Yeah. It's
Sprite
very
or a little
light, yeah.
liquid.
Yeah, because it's light for sure.
Mm. All right, what's next?
Okay, that was a good one. I give that an A+.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got JJ Corey, the lock-in. We've got single malt. Is that Amontillado?
Amontillado.
Like
Ooh,
Edgar
like
Allan
Edgar Allan
Poe.
Poe, yeah. The cask, yes.
We have the Gale, and then obviously the powers
So
that will
we're
do
going to
that.
go to the Gale next.
Okay,
That's another 46%.
that's it.
So this one is a blend of sherry. This has sherry cask in it as well as just
Okay.
ex-bourbon, where the other was just ex-bourbon. This has got some
Okay.
sherry cask in it. Some of the whiskey in this is 28 years old.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
you're getting, yeah.
Very
so
light.
that's one of the good things about when she goes and picks something by the flavor she's shooting for. You can end up with some very old whiskey in your blend.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
this is one of my daily pours, honestly. And this one is also available in the US. This one's like 70, 80 bucks.
Okay, now I have a question here about this. The Gale, Gael. That's, I mean, obviously it's not spelled like the storm. Does that mean something in
Like
Ireland?
the
Gael?
Gale is like
It's
Gaelic
named
people?
after the
Gaelic?
bicycle. It's the bicycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
on the back of the label is a bicycle. And this was named after JJ Corey was an inventor, and he invented this bicycle called the Gale. And this was their very first release
Oh.
from JJ Corey. And they have a little bicycle on the label, and they tell the story.
See,
Okay.
when you go there, you can use that terminology and fit in with the locals.
I can. Yeah, I definitely want to
You
like.
could ride a bike.
Yeah, I want to act like I know what I'm talking about there, and
Well, if you
Like-
go to the Cliffs of Moher, another project that Louise has gotten permission for is she has casks of her whiskey that are maturing at O'Brien's Tower at the Cliffs of Moher.
Oh,
So if you go up
cool.
in the
That's
tower
cool.
at the Cliffs of Moher, you're going to see casks of whiskey that are aging there.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's awesome. I'm just
Yeah, it's
Now-
pretty cool.
Stacie, did you do the cliffs from the top? I was watching a show and they actually took a boat out. And I was like, we should have done that.
I did not do the boat. We were trying to fit as much in as we could when we were back there last time. We're going again in the fall. But
Mhm.
we just did the walk.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually didn't even they just had like a faux barrier up or like a snow fencing. And my husband's like, oh, let's go. I'm like, no, if you fall
You
off
get
there, they
blown
are
right
not
off.
coming to get you. They make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so let's dive into this one. This is the Gale.
Yeah.
It's also 46%, so same.
Yeah.
thing.
46%. Again, all natural color.
This tastes more like a traditional Irish whiskey to me than the first one did. The first one was very like you said, candy.
It's very,
Got
very
candy.
candy sweet, very light. This one, I
Mhm.
get a little kind of like a white pepper on the finish on this one.
Hmm.
Yeah. I like it. It's good. It's like you said, it's very like I could see myself drinking like half of this bottle and not even realizing that it's gone because it's so light.
This one
Bourbon has
reminds
some
me of
heavier
Juicy Fruit
flavors
Gum.
to it. We're used to
Yeah,
those
for
heavier
sure.
flavors.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like easy
Yeah.
so going down.
Okay. So whenever I have Irish whiskey, I very often, not all the time, but very
Mhm.
often, I get like a crackery, like
Butter cracker, like a Ritz
yeah,
cracker?
like a buttery cracker
townhouse
kind of
cracker?
flavor. What is that from?
That's kind of like, some of it is from the barley that's in there.
Okay.
From the malted barley, you're getting those cereal notes. The other
Okay.
is if there's pot still distillate, that baking kind of spice typically
Mhm.
comes from the pot still itself. But the
Okay.
kind of a buttery cookie, you're probably getting that from the malt whiskey that's in this.
Okay. I like it. It's it makes it a very easy drinking, like a pleasant flavor profile.
Mhm.
I really enjoy it. I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
love
why
this
I could.
one. It's just a little more complex, a little more layered, got a little more spice.
Yeah.
Well, when we did our tasting last time, we had some really kind of adventurous ones, I thought. And we were kind of getting the peat taste and
Yeah.
stuff. These
Yeah.
are so far, these are much more mild.
Yeah. They're definitely
The
like
other flight that you guys were considering, and I'm like, that's a lot of peat in that one. So
Yeah,
Maybe like
you said
space
that
ghost
last night when I
comes.
texted you. I was like, "Oh, maybe after." So we're gonna do scotch with Sugar Kitty next month, and maybe after we get into some scotch, then we can try some of the peated
Yeah.
ones with you. I'll save those Cologne ones, and we'll do another one of these.
Yeah, because that there's a lot of peat in those, and
Mhm.
Okay.
not all of
Cool.
them, but I think out of the 5, I think 3 are peated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can handle those a little.
Oh,
better
well,
than
yeah,
me.
yeah, probably.
They still have the sweetness of Irish whiskey. They're definitely peated.
Okay. All right. See, that seems like a weird combination. See, now I'm thinking like barbecue whiskey, like the curveball barbecue
Oh
whiskey.
God, no! Don't think of that.
Oh, that was. Have you
Oh,
had that,
oh,
Stacie?
why would she? She doesn't want to
The
die.
barbecue whiskey?
Yes. It's
Meathead
called
barbecue.
curveball, and it's
No.
got like a skull on the label, and it tastes like that. It
I
tastes
can't
like
even think
death.
about it, Brian. Why are you doing this to me?
It's
It
terrible.
was horrible.
It's like thick and syrupy and like fake smoke flavor.
It was like
It's
liquid smoke with Fireball and
Yep.
Play-Doh.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean,
It was not
if you're making like a Bloody Mary, I could see that, but
Yeah.
that's like
It
that
might have its
clam,
place
that
mixing.
whiskey that's made of clams. I'm like, outside of a Bloody Mary, when are you really ever going to drink that?
See,
Right.
whiskey made of clams is I don't even see, I don't see a place to even yeah, no, to mix that.
Okay, what's next? We've got the lock-in.
Okay. Let's do
Single
the
malt. Oh, the
Amontillado
Amontillado.
because that one is the next ABV. That one's 50%.
So Amontillado, I only know it from the
Short story.
Edgar Allan
Mhm.
Poe short story where they bury the guy in the wall, the
Mhm.
cask of Amontillado. What is, do you know, Stacie, like what is the profile of Amontillado? Is it like a sweet wine? Is it
Yeah, I don't know anything about
It's a sherry.
okay?
So it's another kind of sherry. It's known for being lighter than Oloroso. It's a little nuttier.
Okay.
So this was a bottling. This is a 6-year single malt that was done for James Fox, a store in Dublin. And this is called the Quick Brown Fox.
All right.
Oh, I like that.
And this is Amontillado and a little Oloroso. And this, the difference is this is a single malt. So
Okay.
the other thing about Amontillado also has kind of a tobacco-y note.
Okay.
So any Amontillado finished whiskey is going to go great with cigars.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
Now
getting
this-
that. Yeah, I taste this like a cigar.
I will
Yeah.
tell you the nose on
This-
this one is way stronger than
Oh,
the
yeah.
other two.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
This
we
is a single.
took
The
a
others were
turn.
blends. This is a single malt.
Okay.
Oh, this is, I mean, there's a lot going on here though.
Oh wow. Woo.
Mm,
It's got a sharpness to it, but not in a
does.
bad way. It's just like a
it's like a flavor bomb.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm getting. It's almost. I know this. It doesn't sound right, but it almost is a little salty. Do you get that a little bit? I
Well,
know that
okay.
that doesn't sound good, but like it's like
Well,
has
no,
a,
and that could be because it's a 6-year, so
Yeah.
it's not super old. But I love the finish. The finish on this is that tobacco
Yeah.
note.
yes.
That's why I think
yeah,
this goes really good with a nice cigar.
Like it's got a sharpness almost okay. I am not saying this tastes like cheese. Okay.
No,
Can we be
I
clear
think
about that?
I think we're.
But it's
picking
got
up
a
the same-
sharpness like an
Yeah.
aged cheese.
Yes. Yes. No, I
Like
know what you
that
mean.
kind of
That's what I
sharpness
meant
on
by
your
the
palate.
saltiness.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, yeah.
I get
Like a
those on some Waterford. It's kind of almost like a briny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
that's what I. That was the word.
Yeah,
I
you can pick that up on
briny,
usually more
yes.
youthful Irish. You can pick that up on.
I remember back in my earlier days, I said that about Jefferson's Ocean. And
You
then
said briny.
I said briny, and now I'm like, oh my God, what a jackass I was. That was a bad one. But
Well,
it's
was it true?
whether well,
Yes, Brian is a
I-
jackass.
I think it was the power, I think it was the power of suggestion, but either way, it's a very mid bourbon anyway, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
right.
matter.
Oh,
So did
this
you
is
know
this-
there is an Irish whiskey that's finished like that's out to sea like Jefferson's Ocean?
Oh, like it's what is it?
So the difference is called Clare Island.
Okay.
Difference is Jefferson's Ocean, I'm assuming, is probably like a big freighter or something like that because it's a mass
Yeah.
produced. This is a fishing boat that was actually sunk in a bay and they had to pull it up from the bottom of the bay.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow.
It's an old little fishing boat and they put the cask on there and it's anchored like 4 miles off the coast of Clare Island, which is like West Coast.
Okay.
That's really
And
cool.
yeah, so
That seems much more
you have to
authentic.
actually go to, you have to go to Clare Island to get it. But
Actually, I forget who told me. It might have been Ben from the Bourbon Note told me that the Jefferson's Ocean is aged on a research vessel that researches sharks.
Ben's be making that up.
No,
okay,
I
that's
don't know. I
way
don't think
more
he's making it up.
glamorous than a 20-foot fishing boat that was
Yeah.
underwater. This also because it's aged on this boat and not in a bonded whiskey warehouse in Ireland. It can't be called Irish whiskey. They have to put spirit drink on the label, even though we know it's whiskey.
Is it good?
Spirit drink.
I have not had it. I have not had it. I have friends. I have a few friends that have bottles of it.
So where is this island in relation to like we're going to go to
You're going to Galway.
Yeah.
It's north of Galway, so it's close. Irish American actually is out that way.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. I will see if I can look that up. That might be a fun souvenir.
That'd be so cool.
So they also the town scenes from Banshees of Inisherin, they filmed on Clare Island.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the cliff scenes, yeah.
That one's my favorite so far. I like that one a lot. It's
bold.
Yes, it is nothing
it's richer. It is.
Like nothing like you would expect out of a Irish whiskey. Like a lot more flavor going on than I have had in most Irish whiskeys I've had.
All right.
So we're going to go to the lock-in next.
Okay.
This one is pretty cool.
56.
This one's, it's a little bit lighter.
Okay.
So this was a whiskey that was done during the pandemic. So when everything was shut down.
Does it taste like sadness, Stacie?
No. So it tastes like hope.
Oh.
So during the pandemic,
let's talk about
Louise and JJ Corey sent out 200 tasting kits to different people, to people who volunteered. And there were 3 different blends. And basically everybody came together and voted on what blend they wanted. And she made a whiskey based on that blend that won.
Okay.
And that's the lock-in.
That's cool.
I figure everybody's home. You might as well send them some alcohol to try it out.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
Put them to use.
So this is the cask strength version of the lock-in. So what a lock-in is for people who aren't familiar. When you go to Ireland and you go to the pub, occasionally the party is going so great at the pub that when the pub closes, they lock the doors and they just keep you in and you keep partying until the next day when the pub reopens.
This sounds like a great idea.
And that's called a lock-in. Yeah.
I love this.
They actually do that?
They do. Yes, they do that.
What if you want to leave?
You don't leave because you're not allowed to.
Leave.
The pub
will mess up the vibe.
So
nobody's
if you're in on the lock-in, you're there till morning.
Is this something that they still do?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, we're doing this. Hey, producer, we're doing the lock-in. They shut down the pub. I don't think you can just
call it. They're going to have to be
I'm going to call
in the right place, right time.
At the pub till closing time, the party keeps going. It's not, announced as kind of random.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like
if you're committed to staying, you're there till dawn, till the pub reopens.
That's awesome. Yeah, every night we have on our itinerary.
No, not itinerary.
Did you make a
presentation?
Oh, you made a presentation?
True.
I made a Canva presentation of our trip to Ireland for all 12 people who are going.
Wow.
We had cottage pie and we drank Irish whiskey and soda bread, and everybody came and I did a presentation. And every night ended with us going to the pubs. So.
Every night ended with pubs.
Yep. Yeah.
When we were out,
I'm not seeing the problem there.
Right. It's a foolproof.
You're in Ireland.
It's bulletproof
you can't
logic.
Go wrong.
Okay. Also, the licensed pubs in Ireland, they do close at a reasonable hour.
Okay.
So they close at 10 o'clock. They're not open all night.
Yeah.
I think it's after midnight. It's you have to have a specific license or something. Okay. There's not a lot that's open late.
Wow.
All right.
We were in a bar in Limerick, and it was a tiny, really a local bar. It was not a touristy bar.
Mm-hmm.
And there were people there that were clearly regulars, and they were speaking Irish, as they say,
Gaelic, yeah.
and they were talking about us. We just know they were like
Ah.
laughing at us, and I was like, we're being so polite. We're not like the loud Americans,
They were messing with you.
And yeah, they were joking around about us. I don't know what they were saying. I wish I knew. But we stuck around long enough that everyone got used to us, and we, talked.
Nice.
We went to
everybody.
one where they were all speaking Gaelic, and that we were the only ones English. They spoke English to us because they recognized we were Americans.
Mhm.
But I mean, they also, we stayed, we watched hurling, we had a pint, and eventually, like, they started, teaching us what hurling was. They
They're very
explained the rules of hurling
so
because they're
friendly.
really
Very
big into hurling
friendly.
over there.
What's hurling?
Hurling is
Game.
kind of
It's like rugby and soccer, kind of.
kind of like lacrosse. They have sticks. So
I
it's
hadn't
kinda like
heard
a
of it until
soccer,
I was there.
lacrosse kind of thing. I'm not as
No.
much into Irish curling as I am Irish rugby. I'm a big Irish rugby.
Okay. All right.
Irish rugby just won 6 nations for the second year. We're coming
Oh
back to
yeah, I
London.
saw that was did they play Scotland?
They played Scotland.
Yeah, I saw the ad for it, but I didn't watch the contest. Yeah.
When you're in the pubs, at least when we were there, they were playing hurling on all the TVs. I was like, what
Same
is
when I was
this?
there. It was like the
Yeah.
hurling championship. So
Yeah.
they're big into that.
Not to be confused with shirling, which is the sport that Kids in the Hall made up.
Oh
Yes,
no.
or
Where-
curling.
I have never seen it.
So back in the day on Kids in the Hall, which
I
was
love Kids in the Hall.
for the kids, was a Canadian comedy show. They did a sketch where it was shirling, and shirling was all the gentlemen around like a barrel tied together at the waist, and then they put a venomous snake on the barrel, and they spin around the barrel, and then the snake would spit venom at them, and then you're out. And then it was great.
They have
It was
venomous
great.
snakes in Canada.
I don't know. It was a comedy sketch.
Yeah.
I know a little. Actually, I do know Kids in the Hall a little bit.
And you are correct.
Because Elliot watched.
Hengenazy
I love
curling is
curling.
awesome. Not to be confused with shirling or hurling. Curling is
Thank you for
a
clarifying.
fine
that.
sport. Yes.
So this one is kind of, you can tell it's indicative of JJ Corey's corn line because this reminds me of the Gale. It reminds me of the Hanson, but it's a cast strength.
yeah, definitely you get a little more burn on it,
Oh yeah.
but it's got that same night. Like, I really could dig Irish whiskey for sure. Like, and I have some. Like, I've got 4 or 5 bottles.
We added it to your
We
Only Drams collection.
Yes, we added it to my Only Drams collection. I said you got to get the Irish whiskey. So I have a question while we're on the subject of Irish whiskey. What is your feeling on Clonakilty whiskey?
I really like that Clonakilty was one of the first brands to get involved in the US with single casks. I
Okay.
think that was a real smart move. They were well ahead of the game, recognizing that Americans want cast strength whiskey.
Mhm.
So they've got some really nice of those, the private barrel select releases.
Mhm.
I've got several of them right in
Oh
there.
yeah, I see him back there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were
There's
sipping
more
on
around
that
the
earlier.
corner.
It was very good. What was that, Brian?
That was
Well,
so the
which one
one
was
we've
it?
got a store that's got 2 right down the road.
Mhm.
That's got 2 picks. One's a stout barrel finish. That's the one we were drinking,
Mhm.
and it's
That
delicious.
one's
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, Ohio has an imperial stout that's really
Oof.
freaking good too.
So good, right?
Yeah.
And then they have a Sauternes finish, which I have not had, but I hear that's a super sweet wine.
I've
It
never
is.
heard of
It's going to
that.
be sweeter.
Okay.
I do have one of those bottles up there. Is a Sauterne.
Okay.
Or actually, I think I finished the Sauterne. Maybe. Yeah, I finished the Sauterne. It's sweeter,
Mhm.
but I do think. I mean, for the price, you're getting what is usually like $80, and you're getting a cast strength Irish whiskey that they do really really good job on the finishing.
Mhm.
I've got a few of them. I've got a sherry finish, an Oloroso sherry. I've got a Rivesalta finish. They did a cognac in Ohio. They did an imperial stout. They've got another release that's actually coming that Sean Scully from Clonakilty told me I'm not allowed to tell, but
Oh,
they'll be blowing up the
secrets.
news when it's ready. But there is another Ohio Clonakilty release coming.
okay. Cool. And they also, I mean, they make like a standard non-finished whiskey,
They
right?
do. And honestly, their single malt Bordeaux finish, so freaking good. They used to have a single grain. Now it's a single malt, and it is really, really good. And Ohio
Alright.
didn't get that one, but we did get the double oaked, and that's another. They just make good whiskey for the price.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, I
smaller
mean,
distillery, but they make great whiskey for the price.
so is it worth, so we're gonna be like an hour away from it. Is it worth the trip?
Yes, if you want to
Okay.
go, let me know. I'll hook you up with Hopper and Sean Scully from Clonakilty
Nice.
and let them know
That's
you'll be
awesome.
there.
You got connections, B.
That would be awesome. I would love to go see them because I really have. I've had a few of their bottles. I really, really like it, and it just seems like a cool place. But obviously, I knew you had been there, so I wanted to see if it was like, because we are going to be a little bit out of the way. But I was like, well, I'm going to go to Ireland probably once, so
Yeah.
I should
So if
probably
you're
do as much as I
here's
can
the
do.
thing: if you go to Cork, Middleton is right there too.
Oh, okay.
Like Kate.
So Middleton just reopened.
Oh, wow. Did you
You
hear
can't-
that?
You
Stacie?
can't say Middleton here right now. My wife is obsessed with this.
So yeah, Middleton just reopened their several billion-dollar visitor center that was closed for flooding because they had some
Okay.
horrible flooding in Middleton, and it just reopened. I think it was like 75 billion, something like that, 75 million.
Wow.
Oh,
And then
wow,
Clonakilty
gee.
is very close to there.
Okay.
And I don't know it. Well, I do know Kevin O'Gorman at Middleton, but I can't get anything. But I can get you at Clonakilty. I know them. They're really great.
But
people.
the most important question is, do you know where Kate Middleton is? This is
not in
this
Middleton,
is
Ireland.
this is taking up all my wife's bandwidth right now. All of it.
In the conspiracy right now.
If you in the chat know where Kate Middleton is, go ahead and tell us in the chat because my wife needs answers and we can't function unless we know.
I'm gonna find her.
Yeah, she's
Does
on
she
the
think
case.
the video is fake?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's standing up. She's standing up.
No. I was like, I don't think that's her. It doesn't look like her. I don't know. Like my thing is in
Get out of the hospital.
in 2024, how come we have a grainy ass video that looks like somebody shot it on their Motorola Razr? Like that's my question.
Yeah.
A lot of things
But-
aren't adding up.
Yeah, anyway, I will just be interested when we find out what happened.
Maybe she's on that abandoned boat that they, with the whiskey.
Yeah, she's aging
She called
with the
it
whiskey.
quits.
Okay, so I don't think this one. I think this one I would put second. So the lock-in
too.
is second. I'm
What was
putting the
second one?
Amontillado
Yes,
first.
the Amontillado was the best.
And I feel like the other
Yep.
two,
The
the
first
Hanson and the
one
Gale,
last.
are very
They're
similar.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and those are the your everyday core lineup, whereas the second two were kind of special releases.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish this one up.
All right. We've got
All right, so now we're going cask strength. Now the
Powers
only
John's Lane.
the only powers I've had is just the standard, gold
Yeah,
label.
me too.
Okay.
Irish.
So the regular John's Lane, everybody loves. It's a 12-year, it's a bourbon cask finish. It's known as a traditional pot still whiskey, traditional single pot still, which means spicy and oily.
Okay.
You're scaring me, Stace.
So this is a cask strength version of that one. Now that one, I get more fruit on that one. This one, unfortunately, is not a US release.
Okay.
Powers does say that they're going to release it in batches. So every year they are going to have a release of the Powers John's Lane cask strength. They're going to add it to their core lineup.
Okay.
So
There it is.
Yep.
But you said you can't get this in
you
America.
cannot get this in the US. However,
Okay.
if certain people are going to Ireland in a few months, they will be able to find this at multiple carryouts across Ireland.
So, okay, question before we get into this one. I have thought about this. Like I know you brought home a few bottles.
Yeah.
Like what's the rule on bringing home whiskey?
So if you don't care about maxing out your luggage limit, weight limit, you can bring up to, I think it's like 1 liter, 2 liters per person.
Okay.
Or you can contact, and I can give you the information. If anybody's going to Ireland, just email me 4leafwhiskey4@gmail.com. I can get you the information of a place in Ireland where you, as long as you get your whiskey there, they will package it and ship it home for you.
Oh, no
Now,
kidding.
it's not,
That's
you know,
cool.
shipping whiskey from Ireland isn't the cheapest.
Oh, that's much
But if
easier
you
than
don't wanna
crating it.
yeah, if you don't wanna deal with your luggage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they do a great job. I've never had anything break from them at all.
Okay. All right. Excellent. That's good.
Bringing
So
it through
this
the
one,
airport I
you
had
can pick
in
up when
Ireland
you're
had no problems, but when
yeah,
I came back, it was like,
They
yeah.
were a pain, huh?
yeah, they were
US
paying in the
Customs?
US.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
usually Ireland, they don't give a care. I mean, it's not worth the paperwork, to be honest.
it's when you're coming back in
Just
here.
report
Yeah.
it, honestly, report it and say, "Yeah, I've got some whiskey. You want a sip? Would I have a tipple?" And it's not worth their time usually.
Yeah. Yeah. For a few bottles of whiskey, they probably
It's
don't care.
really not. Yeah.
I
So
we
this one is 57.8% ABV.
okay.
This one
Okay.
retails for less than €100.
So this one to me has a very bourbon-like nose.
This does have a very bourbon. Yes, this is mostly bourbon cask finish. So this is gonna be
Oh,
a hit. I
wow.
figured this was gonna be the one you guys like the best.
I love this one.
Oh,
I
This
think
one's
Lauren's gonna
so
give you a
good.
list when you go to Ireland.
Wow.
see
Oh,
that
you
to
got to bring that back.
that amplifies
That's
all the
amazing.
flavor. Like I think that is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Wow. It was like a burst of flavor,
Oh,
especially compared to like the, like
So
Stacie
this
said,
is
like the
the
daily
oldest. This
sippers.
is a 12-year. So
Wow.
12-year single pot still bourbon cask, mostly bourbon cask finish.
This, Marianne,
Hmm?
you got to get this one.
you.
Oh, that is
I know
so
she's
nice.
listening.
I'm listening.
Hey, Troy. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Troy from Bourbon or from
Yeah.
Bigger Drinks is here. How's it going,
Cheers,
Troy?
Troy.
Thanks for coming in.
There you go.
We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah. Oh, that
Yeah,
was really good.
this is
Damn.
exceptional. But I think I think like what you said, being bourbon drinkers, this one kind of hits
Yeah.
a little
She knows us.
closer to the mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
This is
is
vanilla.
super.
This is woody notes. This is spice. This is still available in Ireland. So if you know hotels you're staying at, I could give you some information on some carryouts that do
Okay.
have shipping within
Perfect.
Republic of Ireland. So you could actually ship it to one of your hotels to have it waiting there for you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if I go to a shop in Ireland and want to have it or carry out, that's just like what that's just a shop, like a liquor store?
Yeah, there's a lot of they call them carryout,
Okay.
like carryout Killarney.
So if
Yeah,
I go to one and want to have it shipped home, I'm only there for a week. It's not going to get to my house before that, right?
well, they can't ship it to the US. The carryout.
Oh, I see.
There's another entity that I'll let you know about that
Okay.
will package. You just have to get
Okay.
your packages.
Let's not speak of it
Some of the
anymore.
carryouts will deliver to them within Republic of Ireland.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to dialogue off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is great. Now I have a question. My local shop down the street just got one. Is it Three Swallows?
Yes, that's Powers 3 Swallows.
That's
So there-
Powers, right?
Yes, there
Is
is
that-
a reason for the name for that too. So
It's about
coachman-
birds, you dummy.
That was
Yeah,
good.
they do. Well, they do have birds on there, but the
Yes.
coachman that used to ride with the whiskey casks as they were being delivered on the cold nights, they figured 3 swallows of whiskey was enough to keep them warm. So they would give them a little flask that had 3
Maybe
swallows of
5.
whiskey. So
Oh, wow.
they named it 3 swallows.
Now, what is the story? Like, what type of whiskey is that? Because I looked at it, I had it in my hand, I was like, and the guy, one of the workers, like, oh, I have one, it's great, blah blah blah. Like, what is the makeup of that, age, and all that stuff?
So that one, it's a no age statement. If I'm remembering right, I think it's 5-6 years. It's a single pot still whiskey, and it's mostly sherry finish.
Okay.
Honestly, for $40, it's a really good bottle. You're probably not going to find another single pot still that's as good for $40.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Powers in general is a solid lineup. Anything you buy from Powers is you're pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I honestly, I had a friend bring me just a gold label whiskey, and I thought it was fine. It was good. The bottle's gone. So
$27. You get a little bump up in ABV because here it's 43%. Now, if you go buy that Powers bottle, regular Powers gold label in Ireland, it's 40%.
Oh, wow.
You have to get the
That's interesting.
distiller's cut to get the 43%.
Ah, okay. So
So we get a
Troy,
little
I don't know
bump
if
up in ABV.
I don't know if you see Troy's question here.
I
For the
do.
whiskey.
Troy, I have not had a chance to yet. Ohio just got 26 new brands of Irish whiskey.
Oh, wow.
So, and we're going to Ireland in the fall. So I had to kind of slow my roll a little bit. And it hasn't been slowed by that much. So yeah, I had things to buy in Ohio, and I'm like, yeah, we're actually going on a whiskey trip this fall. So we're going to be based in Belfast, and we're going to be going to all the distilleries in Northern Ireland. So I think it's 9 distilleries in like 8 days, 7 days.
So what are some of the distilleries in Northern Ireland that we might be familiar with here? Any?
Bushmills is the big one.
Okay.
McConnell's is another one.
All right.
That's available in US. 2 Stacks
Okay.
is available in US. That's Northern Ireland. Killowan's Northern Ireland. Hinch, Ecklandville Distillery, which does Dunvilles.
Okay.
Those are probably the most familiar.
And as I saw in the airport in Northern Ireland, they do all the Game of Thrones tours.
Oh, really?
You can visit all the
Last time we were there, we were on a Game of Thrones tour.
Did you do it?
Oh,
we went.
that
Yeah,
would
we
be
got.
awesome.
I was tempted. We were in the airport. I was like, guys, should we do it?
We did it. So we went over to Castle Ward, where Winterfell was. That's where Winterfell was. We got to shoot with the bow that Bran shot in the very first episode. We got to meet 2 of the direwolves.
Oh, wow.
Got to meet
That's
some of
awesome.
the extras on the show. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Cool.
It was a fun tour. It really was.
Update: House of the Dragon starts in June, y'all.
Okay, I'm excited.
We were just Googling that. Like, when does it start?
Yeah, I just saw an ad on
it's been
Facebook
forever.
for
I
it.
watched it
starts
forever
it's
ago.
been like 2 years, I think. Yeah.
It's been. I'm like, when did they?
It's so
What
good.
are they
though.
waiting for? Come on.
It's so good. I know people
I really like it.
People thought it was going to be boring because
That's
the
not
books
boring, no.
the book was about a lot of like freaking like politics and stuff, but I think I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's
there's a lot of politics in the entire series.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
we did. So we saw where Winterfell was. Walder Frey's the twins. We got to see that.
Oh, wow.
We got to see the Dark Hedges, which is the King's Road that has the big trees over the road. That's actually like in a cornfield or like an open field in the middle of County Antrim. So you got to drive. Ballantoy up on the coast is Pike, is the Iron Islands. So a lot of it is filmed in Northern Ireland.
You're making me regret that we didn't go. I would have.
Oh, we went to the Carrick-a-Reed rope bridge along just because that you stop there to see it, because it's this little tiny rope bridge along these islands, and you're like 100 feet up from the ocean. Well, it was really crowded, so we parked in the overflow parking lot, and as we're walking up, we see this like sign, and that was Renly Baratheon's camp in season 2. There's signs all over Northern Ireland for Game of Thrones.
So I had a question about the 2 Stacks, because I think the first time we did a stream together, we had the 2 Stacks, and I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. You said it's available in the US.
No, that one, the one that you had, the maple syrup one.
Yeah.
So that one at the time was a Canadian release, and you couldn't get it outside of Canada. I actually had a business trip in Calgary. Is the reason, and I had it shipped to my hotel.
Okay.
However, it's now available in Ireland.
Yes. So I can go anywhere in Ireland and get it, not just Northern Ireland.
I would check stores in the cities you're going in first.
Okay.
To make sure they have it. But you can get it in Ireland. It's the maple syrup stout cask. It's called Smoke and Mirrors maple syrup.
Yes.
You remember that one, huh?
Oh my God. It haunts my dreams.
Do you have a list? Like of
I
all
don't.
the ones you gotta make?
I better.
You have a Canva. You're not gonna make a list.
I haven't gotten that far. But yes,
We'll
I
do
am
it.
going to make a list, because I definitely.
You don't want to miss anything.
No.
You got to put like your top 10s.
I'll tell you what.
Top 5. Sorry, top 5.
So
Matt
here's the
Jameson.
problem, Brian, that you're going to run into over there. You're going to run into a lot of single casks, because they do single casks for carryouts. They do single casks for bars. So you're going to run into like Powers. If you like this, the Powers John's Lane, well, they do Powers for different bars there too. Franahan has their own Powers single cast release. So Redbreast does for the Palace Bar has a Redbreast.
I
St.
got
Eloy's has
Redbreast
a
everywhere we
Redbreast.
went.
Temple Bar has a Redbreast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. See, I'm going to be a sucker for that because everybody knows I'm a sucker for a pick. So I will be all over those.
The one carry out
Afraid
Killarney
you,
has a
Maria.
Buffalo Trace pick.
Stop doing
A
that.
Buffalo Trace pick?
Don't ask me what about it is different than regular Buffalo Trace. I have no idea. But they have a carry out Killarney Buffalo Trace.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I've seen people who like post, I got this Buffalo Trace pick, but we never see we never even see Buffalo Trace around here. Barely.
Mhm.
It's starting to get a little better, but you don't see it much around here.
So they had a cask, and they finished a stout finished W. O'Connell Irish whiskey in that cask. So after that,
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
yeah.
I want
I'm
all of
excited.
it. I want
Pretty
all of
brave.
it.
I want you to come.
Yeah, you should have came.
I know. I wish I could.
Yeah, I'm already. That's why I'm not really buying any. Trying not
Yeah.
to buy anything because we're gonna.
You're gonna get
I
your
know
fill.
we're coming with a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about how I'm gonna get all the stuff I buy home for sure. It's gonna be a bunch of whiskey and a sweater. That's what I'm going for.
You have to buy a
Now,
separate
the
seat.
sweaters they will ship home for you.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
the sweaters, the hats, the blankets, they will ship all that home for you. The store.
Now is your sweater an official Aran Island sweater?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
I have a
My
couple.
wife is dying for one. Yeah.
I have one.
I got
It's
a couple.
lovely.
I got one in Galway. Yeah.
Okay. So have you gone to the actual island? Like, is it worth it to go to like the Aran Island, like whatever?
It's really, really nice. It's
Yeah.
a lot of time to get over there and back.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the same with Skellig. Skellig now is huge down off the Ring of Kerry because of
That's where they
Star
did
Wars.
Star Wars, right?
Yeah, that's where they did Star Wars.
Mm.
And actually Skellig 618 Irish whiskey, that's where it gets its name. The monks hand carved 618 steps from the edge of the island up to the monastery, which is just amazing. But
Those monks had a lot of time.
that you have to. I think it's like a 45-minute
They
one-way
needed
trip
whiskey.
on a boat across the rough Atlantic seas to get there. So we just didn't have the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's where Luke Skywalker was in.
I figured, yeah.
Whatever.
But if
whatever.
you take
On the
time
island.
instead, so you could probably get a sweater. Honestly, you could get a sweater on Clear Island. They'll have it too.
Yeah.
I mean, Clear Island's just north of Aran Islands.
I'm coming home with a GD sweater.
I know there's one in Dublin. I know there's one in Galway too. We're going to Dublin,
You could,
Killarney, and
Marie, and you could get sweaters all over that island. Just
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got one in Galway. I got one in Ennis, just down from the Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah.
I got one in
If she-
Dublin. Yeah.
If she doesn't come home with a sweater, she will burn this place to the ground.
Since I
You
planned
get that woman a sweater.
I will get-
She said that she will.
He's gonna come home with $4,000 worth of whiskey, and
Yeah.
she's gonna come home with some sweaters.
one sweater. You got it. Done.
I got a
One
blanket
sweater
too.
for
You can
What's
get
that,
hats.
Stacey?
Yeah. I got a blanket too. You could get all
Oh,
kinds of hats, jewelry,
blanket.
everything.
I just want a sweater.
Yeah, we'll get you a sweater. Don't worry. Sweater's on the list.
Also, it's time for Village House.
Sweater's on the list.
I
It'll
don't blame her.
be.
They're so warm. You guys
Yeah.
are up in the snow belt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, how about we had snow today?
Don't bring it
So,
up, Brian.
yep.
Come
It
on.
was like really nice for a while. It was like the temperatures were going up. And then today,
It was summer like 2 weeks ago. It
No.
was like 70 degrees.
This is
and then
why
all
we're
of a
all.
sudden-
This is why we're all sick because it was the same.
Yeah.
It was warm.
I know. I
here,
can't take it anymore. It's up, down,
And then it was
up,
warm
down.
for the parade, and then it snowed yesterday.
yep, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Mhm.
That's why everybody's angry now.
I'm pretty
Everybody's
angry, yeah.
short
Yeah, the
tempered with
weather's
everybody because
just
we
been
got
horrible
damn
this year.
snow. All right, Stacie, give me one cologne we should try that you sent us, and I'm gonna go get it.
The cognac.
Okay.
So I got to reach back
Got
here and
it.
grab mine.
Okay.
This is very unprofessional.
Yeah, how dare you leave your post? Your watch hasn't ended. Stacie, what'd you think about the end of Game of Thrones?
I like to believe that when Arya killed the king, that's when it actually ended.
That is the best take on the end I've ever heard, really.
I'm just going to pretend the rest of it didn't happen.
Then we don't need to know
No.
what's going on with
Then
Daenerys.
you just don't pay attention to the rest. It's like how
Yeah.
I am with Indiana Jones. There are
Yeah.
3 Indiana Jones movies, and that's it.
But they made
That's
more.
kind of
Nope.
where I'm at. I can deal with it being way too dark and having to actually adjust the TV to see it.
Yeah.
But
We
that was a
purposely
good.
waited to watch it till
That
night.
was a good ending, and
With
that's
everything
where it
cut.
ended.
Perfect.
Are you coming in?
No.
She's coming in.
That's
She
like
wants to
me.
say
There
hi.
are 3 Indiana Jones movies and 6 Star Wars movies, and that's it. I don't think-
And reach in and grab the novelty.
Not my show.
Okay, so we're doing Killoan.
Get outta here.
Is it Baron Tool?
Here might
Yes,
go.
this is Baron Tool, so this is a single pot still. This is a cognac cask.
Okay. Cognac cask. This is super light.
This is natural color. So this is only 3 years old, and it's by intention. He
Baby.
believes that
It's a
Irish
top.
whiskey, it didn't used to sit in a cask for 20 years.
Almost minty smelling.
It was
Mhm.
supposed to be good enough to release after 3 years. So
All
this
right.
is actually finished in a white Hennessy cask. This is the US release. So this is available in multiple US states. Party Source in Kentucky has this one.
Okay. And you said Killoan is up in Northern Ireland.
Killoan is in the Mourne Mountains in Northern Ireland. Their distillery is probably about the size of most people's 2-3 car garage.
Oh, wow.
It's a
Holy
very
cow.
small distillery.
And they're selling it all over the world?
Yes.
Holy.
We had to work. That is one of the things. They're a smaller distillery. They're an independent distillery. So
Mhm.
to get it here, they have to pay quite a bit. They have to pay the VAT tax. They have to get, for logistics to get it over here. They don't really usually have a lot of money left for marketing.
Sure.
So I absolutely love what they're doing. So as far as transparency goes, they're a bit ridiculous. They measure by the sack. So they give you this little card in with their whiskey, tells you
Oh,
the
wow.
mash bill, how much of each grain they
Hold on.
used, the fermentation.
Totally. Wow.
Yep, they'll tell you every
That's
single thing you want
impressive.
to know.
No BS. You got all the
Yep.
info right there.
Very nice.
They'll
I
tell
like
you the
that.
hours that it was distilled. They'll tell you the size of the cask, everything.
Wow.
And this
That's
one's
great.
US exclusive.
Wow. So I am assuming, I might be wrong, but I am assuming that a bottle of cologne might be a little pricier because of all that.
Mhm.
You would assume correctly. Yes. So this is a 375 size bottle. Unfortunately, they normally do 500 milliliter bottles. Unfortunately, that's not approved size in the US. So they had to go to 375s. These
Okay.
are about $100. But you're supporting an independent small Irish whiskey distillery
Right.
that's giving you all the information you want. That's giving you cask
Right.
strength, natural color. They do double distillation with worm tub condensers, so you're getting everything you want in 61% ABV.
That
Mm.
is and it's also a company that's taking out a lot of added costs to get this
Yes,
to our shelves.
yeah.
So
They're small batch, and he even says I love Brendan. He jokes, he's like, I'm the worst investment because a lot of casks will only fill halfway because he doesn't think it tastes as good. He thinks it does better. So he'll do things like he'll roll the cask out. You'll see like wild fermentation on there.
mhm.
He'll just roll the cask outside and let natural, yeast take over, a natural fermentation take over, and then he'll roll it back in.
Boy, that's
And
interesting.
he'll do that every day.
That's got some burn to it
It
for
does.
sure.
Yeah, it has a bite. It's not as sweet as the
61%.
others we tasted. I would say, and it's got a nice long finish.
Yeah.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. I love what they're doing because they are, like I said, they're the opinion. Back in the day, Irish whiskey didn't sit in a cask that long. So
Yeah.
at 3 years, you should put the quality and attention to detail into a whiskey that it should be drinkable after 3 years. And unfortunately, we've all had Irish whiskey that's really not after 3
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah.
Colognes all are.
Mm. That's good. So is there an ideal number for Irish whiskey? Like sometimes they say with like a rye, you don't want to overage it. It shouldn't age maybe as much as a bourbon. Is there like a sweet spot for Irish?
It's going to depend on the cask, honestly.
Sure.
I mean, if you're talking about a bourbon cask, I've got a 21-year-old JJ Corey that's just flipping phenomenal. That tastes like tropical fruit cup.
Whoa.
I've had, a 12-year W.D. O'Connell that's been had its entire maturation done in an Oloroso sherry cask.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you let those go too long, I know the sherry cask, you start to get a little bit of almost like a pencil, like a graphite kind of taste to them.
Oh, no.
So really, it's going to depend on your finish. And that's the thing about Irish is if it's held any other alcohol, it can be matured in that cask. Doesn't matter what it is. And it can be finished in any wood cask. It doesn't matter what it is. I've got...
There's not as many rules.
Yeah, Method Madness is a big one that experiments in their cask finishes. I've got a sample upstairs. It's a Gariana oak they did. That's one of their newest ones. They did some Japanese. You're going to see a lot of Method Madness over there too.
Cool. I'm excited. I can't wait. Hello, Sugar Kitty. How you doing?
Hey, Sugar Kitty.
Sugar Kitty's going to do Scotch with us next month.
Can't wait.
Giddy up. I can't wait. I guess I shouldn't say I can't wait. I have had very little Scotch, and it has not all been a positive experience with Scotch.
Did your dad make you drink it when you were younger?
Like Michael Scott, Scotch and Splenda. No, I just like, so Scotch to me is the ones I've had. I can't speak to how good they are, how bad they are. I don't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
But the Scotches that I've had are just like, they just taste like harsh whiskey to me. Like I like the sweetness and the different flavor notes you get in a bourbon, and I don't get any of that out of Scotch, or the ones I've had at least. It's just like harsh alcohol. So Sugar Kitty has given us a selection. He has assured me that we're going to be Scotch drinkers, or we're going to enjoy it.
When I was in Scotland, they gave me it was like a scratch and sniff. It's like, okay, we did this whiskey experience in Edinburgh, and they gave you like a map of Scotland, and you could scratch the dots and smell like the different smells depending on where you were. And then you tasted it, obviously. That was really cool.
That is a big difference between Scotland and Ireland. Ireland, it's more the type of whiskey. So you've got single malt, single grain, single pot still, blended, and then you've got peated. Whereas Scotland, it's Islay, Highland, Lowland, Campbelltown. It's more regional. Irish whiskey isn't like that. Scotch, I found some luck with. My husband's into Scotch, and I joined him into the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, and we've gotten some cask strength Scotch, and it's been very good. Although my last Scotch Malt Whiskey Society bottle was an Irish whiskey, but they've been really, really good. They're cast like 57 and 63%.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty, like, in Scotch generally is not.
No.
Or traditionally has not been a cask strength.
No. And I think they've been kind of late to the game getting into the cask strength, the kind of movement.
Yeah.
And I think that's hurting Scotch. I think as Scotch releases more of these cask strength, I think you're going to see it start to pick up again.
Okay.
Irish seems to have gotten a little bit ahead of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So Irish seems to be, hey, you want more ABV? Fine. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. And cask strength or higher ABV for Irish is fairly new.
It is. And that's partly because up until around 2018, I mean, you only had 5 distilleries in Ireland that were functioning. So, people are going to drink Jameson no matter what. So they're going to proof it down. And they're still selling. I think the last quote that I saw for 2013 it's 2023. I think they sold 16 billion cases of Jameson worldwide.
Oh wow.
At 40%. So
I had 20% of that on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure one of the multitude of flasks I had on Sunday had Jameson.
I will tell you, on the night we had our Ireland trip meeting, we put a hurting on that Jameson crest that you
Yeah.
brought.
So
You know what? When you go to the distillery,
Yeah.
get the Irish coffee.
Okay. All right. What were you going to say?
Sorry,
you
Stacie.
can get the Black Barrel cask strength there
Mm,
at the Jameson distillery.
okay. I'm
So I
listening.
think the thing is, away from those big names, away from your Jamesons, your Redbreast, your Powers, your Bushmills,
Mhm.
these smaller brands like Cologne and Two Stacks and Clonakilty are giving you cask strength.
Yeah. 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 I think
Yeah,
that.
Brugladek is ahead of the game.
Yeah. Because they're doing like a lot of cast strength stuff, right?
They are, and the someone that was affiliated with Brugladek, Mark is it Renier? He actually came to Waterford
Okay.
Irish whiskey, and now he's at Renegade Rum, and I think it's Grenada.
Okay. Cool.
He's all over the place.
That's awesome. Hey, Mark, Northwest Bourbon. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for coming
Hey, Mark.
in. I like Mark. Mark, the only problem with Mark is he always streams because he's in the West Coast and he always streams so late at night. It's like when I'm going to bed, Mark's jumping on. I'm like, ugh.
I know. I try to stay awake long enough to at least chime in. Although
Right.
I need to have Mark on my channel sometime. I need to send him some Irish whiskey.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah,
I
I'd
would
love
love
to
that,
see what
Mark.
he thinks.
I mean
Gandy,
to
you're
call you
right.
out on the spot, but
Yeah, Mark, let's go.
Yeah.
You're right, Gandy. I have an Imperial Stout finish and it is delicious. We got one, like I was telling Stacie earlier, there's a shop right down the road that just got a pick of the Imperial Stout and you know what was wild about that one is I drank it and I was like, oh, this just tastes like Irish whiskey. And then you take a couple more sips and then you start getting that like roasty stout on your palate after the fact.
that chocolate fudgy
Oh,
coffee.
so good. I really enjoyed that. That might be my favorite Irish whiskey that I've had in a while.
Clonakilty and the Whistler, their single barrel picks are both really good. They're worth the money. Yes,
Awesome.
the Guinness does taste better in Ireland. They say it's the same here, but
It's not.
they actually have people that go out to the bars in Ireland and they have to meet certain requirements. Like it has to be a certain temperature. Their lines are cleaned on a certain, yeah.
So they like quality test it.
It's like 10 times better, at least, maybe 100.
Okay. So
no,
my
I
wife,
totally agree. It's not as bitter.
Marianne has said she's not going to have one.
Marianne, if you don't
Could
like
you
Guinness,
please tell her
you'll
how
like
crazy
it in
that
Ireland.
is?
It's
almost
very
like
mild.
chocolate milk
Guinness
over
is
there.
mild.
Thank you. I said it's like having a glass of chocolate milk.
It really is. The bitterness that you get in Guinness here, you don't get it over there.
So good. We got it everywhere we went. Everywhere you got to go, just get it. Okay? And then you can have whiskey for the rest of the time. They do have bourbon there, you know.
They do a bourbon there. You could have a bourbon in Ireland.
That's right. That's right. Although you took pictures in the liquor store and there was not a great selection.
No, there was like Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
They don't get a lot of bourbon over there.
Here, pop in here. Just pop your head in.
Right here.
That was just your hand.
Right here.
No, that was just your hand. Come say hi.
He's too embarrassed.
He doesn't want to. Okay.
Oh, well, Stacie, I am so happy we were able to do this again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So much fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You got to love Irish whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly,
especially this week.
For me, it's a nice change of pace from bourbon. Sometimes you drink bourbon and you get like in a rut. So it's nice to have some other whiskey as a go-to.
I'm not in a rut.
And
she's
not in a rut.
peaking.
But with Irish, it's a nice lighter alternative. It's a nice go-to. I've been appreciating it.
Yeah, definitely.
So
no,
anyway.
Thank you. You guys know me. I'm always up for talking about Irish whiskey.
Awesome. We really appreciate it.
You're so knowledgeable, and I mean, yeah,
especially in March. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in. I know it was kind of an odd time. It was kind of a light crowd today because we were at 6:00, but that's the way it goes. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. And I think the Bourbon Bar is going live right now at 7:00. So go check them out. They also,
Whiskey 6 tomorrow night at 9.
Yeah, 9:00, Whiskey 6. Our special guest is gonna be Troy and Laura for Baker Drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all we got. We got video tomorrow. I don't know which one we're gonna put out tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. So I have to edit tonight. So.
No hot tub for you.
We just filmed a bunch. Now I gotta go edit one so we have something to put up.
I hate editing. Editing's the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
And it ruins my night too.
So everybody, thank you very much. Stacie, thank you so much for joining us, and to the chat, everybody, cheers. And we'll see you soon. I think our next live stream besides the Whiskey Six is going to be with Sugar Kitty,
Yeah.
drinking some scotch. So Sugar Kitty will be in touch and we'll figure out a time to do that. But everybody, cheers. Thank you so much and have a great night. Bye. Are you hitting end stream?